Guys, wanted to talk about river sluices, different types of matting, and pros and cons and all the rest of the differences between them all. So, should be able to see here, this is my 8-inch gold wrap river sluice with the original cell dream mat. It's called the modular. It has this flare that bolts on, so you can actually attach a header box to this, and that's why it's the modular. There's holes for the legs if you want to put legs on them. They also do like a bare bones, which is just pretty much this metal frame. It goes out a bit further and it's flared on the sides. It's a complete unit. It has a clamp that holds the mat in. There also is the 888, which is an 8-inch sluice, and it's a shorter sluice. So you can't get that in the modular. It is like the bare bones, so it's just flared. This aluminium part is flared out, but you should be able to see it's a fair bit shorter. So it makes it lighter. You can shovel through just as much material, being 8-inch. The width of your sluice is pretty much how much you can shovel through or how fast you can feed it, and the length is its capacity. Also, with the 8-inch in the 888, where it comes with this mini cell mat, you don't need as much flow, I believe, with this mini cell mat as you do with the original mat. Makes it a much shorter sluice, easier to carry. I've chucked this handle on mine. And it's ideal. I think it's probably the perfect, that 888 is probably the perfect sluice for attacking the creeks in my local area, and that's the Melbourne creeks. It's not too wide. Our creeks don't get, yes, they'll flood, but when they're flooding, it's so difficult to dig in the actual creek where you need to be digging that 888 is perfect for that low flow. High flow as well, it'll still keep up. You can get classifying screens that actually sit in the sluice itself, and as you feed, it screens the material through. Obviously that restricts the flow a bit as well. So personally, if you're going to run it in low flow, I wouldn't use that screen. I'd screen off into a, just with the screen. About 8 mesh is recommended. The more that you screen before and liberate the gold out of the clay and the rocks and all that sort of stuff, the more efficient your sluice is going to be. You don't want some big clay ball clumped with covered in gold rolling all the way out, and that will happen with every sluice. So that's the 8-inch. This is a 6-inch. Has the dream mat mini cell. You're going to feed this a lot slower than you're going to feed that 8-inch. But this is really light, compact. Once again, I've put a handle on so I can carry it. This is made by ROE, this actual sluice, but it, at the time when I bought it, which is quite a few years ago, he was only selling them with dream mat, and now I think the business has been sold and other people are running that ROE, so I'm not really sure what matting. I think they've come up with their own matting. This is a little Teu Sluice. It did come with a handle. It's got the metal riffles. It also has expanded mesh, and I've changed this, if you've watched my video, to the Bunnings carpet, which is a back pretty much miner's moss, and I ended up putting a larger V-mat in this top section, and I had the V-mat there. Same like with that 888 that I was saying. This one's probably a little bit, so the 888 will be about that much longer because you've got the feed area. But this is a pretty compact little sluice, and it will do the trick. If you like this type of matting, it's going to do the trick for the creeks in Melbourne. What I've found is the water flow required for this 6-inch is about the same amount of water flow required for the 9-inch Teu Sluice. Now those riffles are in backwards when I just looked at them, but that doesn't matter. I'll swap them around. But you've just got to take into consideration, like, yeah, you can go 10, you can go 12. And if you're going into bigger rivers, fantastic. But for the creeks in Melbourne, personally, I think the 8 is perfect. These are a smaller sluice that you might want to carry for a longer distance than this one. But then if you do want that feed rate, then go for maybe the 888. Have a look at those. The 888 looks pretty good. I'm considering some options there. But yeah, so I thought I'd do a little video. Mats, you can do whatever you like, you know. I don't push. This is what I use. I use obviously the expanded mesh as well and the minus moss. It's not so much about the mats, but if you want something that is pretty forgiving, I think something like this. It's rubber or a type of urethane or something along those lines. So even when you bash it, you have that bit of rubber there to take a bit of the impact. I've seen a lot of plastic sluices that are solid plastic, and my worry, and I remember when I first started out, Angus McKirk was the sluice, the plastic hard sluice that was about, and I heard so many stories of people bumping them and watching all their gold just go, bang, just jumping totally out. So I have a little fear, and that's just me, that I think all these plastic sluices are going to be like that. The Teu one is starting to take a bit of punishment. I've had this out for a little while, hasn't even gone through a full season yet, and I can see bits and pieces are rusting away. So the quality is not there. This thing's about 8 years old and it's been punished, and I mean punished, and it's lasted. Same with this thing, this has lasted as well. It's been pretty good. As I said, I make the changes. And with your handle, if you are thinking about putting a handle in, don't just put it straight. I don't know if you can tell, that's not straight in the middle of the actual sluice. Sort of grab your sluice from the side, like this, and work out where your hand is, and it balances nice and evenly when you put your handle in. Because if your handle, if the sluice is going to balance nicely in your hand, it's the right place for the handle. Don't think, and even this one, you can see it's more up this end. It's not really in the middle. Even if I measured that, it's not in the middle. Because you want to be able to carry it. You don't want to be going like this or going like that sort of thing with the weight. You just want it to nicely be able to, you want to be able to have it on one finger and it just sits there balanced. So that's just a little tip with the handles. Just get something like, go to Bunnings, see which one you actually like gripping and holding. As you can see, I've used that same handle on both the sluices that I've put the handle on. But that's it, just a little video on different river sluices, different mats, what I think, and everyone's open to their opinion. I don't sell any of these products, so I'm not pushing you towards anything, but I'm just pushing you towards what I think is probably the best option for the guys out in Melbourne and anyone looking at buying a river sluice. So, till next time guys, see you all later.